Hi, this is Sylvain from Versa, and today I will explain the integration of the Versa SD-WAN solution with Megaport using our SASE portal. Before we dive in, let me quickly present the overall solution. In a traditional hub and spoke topology, the hub will be your traffic aggregator. Unfortunately, it is difficult to scale properly, and very often you will get trembling effect when going to the cloud. Also, the physical installation of such devices is always a challenge. Thanks to Megaport, we can now run the hub virtually pretty much anywhere in the world, with no geographical constraints, and more important, it is a pay-as-you-go model where you can scale the hub horizontally and vertically based on the number of spokes you have in your region. For instance, I can run with a very small instance in America because I roughly have 20 spokes in that region. But the MEA will require something with more resources because of the 100 of spokes we have there. Of course, the solution also gets profit of all the Versa capabilities with optimized traffic steering and reduced costs for traffic going to the cloud workload. Now, let me show you how this is done in the Megaport and Versa portal. For my demonstration, I will use a simple setup with 3 spokes and a hub located in the Megaport USA region. Alright, let's get started with the Versa SD-WAN configuration. So we have 3 spokes and I'm going to add 1 hub located in Megaport. So the name of the hub will be hub-megaport. I will also set up a serial number for this hub. So let's put mega 1, 2, 3, 4. No need to select a model. I will select reference boundaries. Let's put 500 meg. And I will also set up a profile. So this profile is a skeleton of my configuration. As you can see, I already have a couple for the spoke and also one for Megaport. So I'm going to click on the profile for Megaport and click on apply, scroll down and click on save. The device is now created. I can click on it and see what's missing. So we have a couple of pending variables, actually only one, the LAN side IP address. So I'm going to set up some dummy IP address and click on add. And at this stage, I can review the entire setup, the chassis, the security, the application, and finally click on save. All right, we are almost getting there. So we can see some pending publication. So I'm going to click on the publish button on the top right corner, select my Megaport hub and click on publish. So at this stage, the configuration will be ready on the Versa side. And we are done. I am now going to connect in the Megaport user interface to create my virtual hub in the American region. We are now going to connect in the Megaport portal to create an MVE. An MVE stands for Megaport Virtual Edge. First thing I have to do is to select the geographical area. So as you can see, we have different countries like France, where we have 3 POPs. But in my case, I want to create an MVE in USA. So I create USA and choose the Los Angeles POP. We also set up the Versa operating system version and its setting. So first of all, the host name. I will set up hub Megaport Versa. Then the size of the instance. I go with 2 CPU and 8 GB of memory. No minimum term for the contract, and then all the information I need to connect to the backend Versa directors, IP address, local and remote identifiers, and finally the exact same serial number I put in the Consulto user interface. Once this is done, I can click on next and add MVE. As soon as it is done, the UI will also propose the creation of an IP transit, which is mandatory to communicate with the outside world. So I need to set up a rate limit. I will go with the minimum 20 megabyte. Click on next and add this VXC to my order. So we have the order on the left side of the window. I will click on order again. It usually takes a few minutes to spin the virtual machine and enable the transit. So we can see the deploying message on the screen right now. So an orange text means that the service is not ready yet, but it should turn to green very shortly and we are now good to go. So one last thing, from the very same screen, you can add extra connection going to other resources in your Megaport environment or connection going to your cloud resources. As of today, Megaport support clouders like GCP or AWS or even Azure. which gives you a direct access to your cloud workload with very low latency. So I'm going to click on cancel, and we should get back in the Versa portal. The first thing we observe from the portal is the icon color. It is blue. It means that this hub at Megaport is now connected to the Versa controllers, and it does participate in the topology. Let's review in view the status of the appliance. I will click on the hub Megaport USA. From here, I can see my appliance with the amount of memory and CPU allocated to it, as well as the Versa operating system version. But more important, we see the status of the interface and its public IP address. I am now going to scroll up and click on application to review what application I received from my SPOC. So I see some web traffic, but more important, traffic going to GCP here. If I scroll down, I see an historical view of those applications. Again, GCP is a very good candidate. And if I scroll down again, I will have even more detail with the number of sessions, the amount of traffic for each one of those applications. I'm now going to click on Analytics to review my SD-WAN metrics in that topology. So for this, I will click on SD-WAN and path. And from this screen, we can see every single path we have in the topology with the amount of traffic for each SPOC. So if I continue to scroll down, I will see the amount of traffic from site 78, 75, and 92. Additionally, for each one of those sites, I can go in the SLA metrics menu to review the amount of packet loss, latency, and jitters we have from a SPOC to the hub and vice versa. If I click on security, I will have a view on applications as well as threats I'm being exposed to. In this particular screen, I will do a focus on the Megaport hub to see what type of web threats I'm being exposed to. So we see one category, proxy anonymizer. If I click on it, I will have an historical view of all the HP requests going to this type of website. So we can see the appliance, the category, as well as the URL of the website. More important, the source and the destination of the traffic being dropped in this example. From the same submenu, I can also get access to the malware analytics and log. Again, I will have an overall view, and if we click on it, we'll have an historical view of all the malware hit we got in our SD-WAN environment. The logs will give me more information, such as the type of the threats, the name of the file, and also the IP address of the attackers and the victims. All right, now let's move on in the Megaport user interface to see what type of metrics we can observe. All right, so I'm going to click on this little gear next to my MVE and on usage. So from this service graph, I can observe the amount of traffic, but I will change time frame to the last hours. So we can see the amount of traffic going in and out of this MVE. I can also get the amount of packets in and out going through this MVE. And finally, the same view, but this time with the amount of errors. I hope you enjoyed the video and thanks for watching.